I am so pumped to see how many people are here tonight. This is awesome. Give yourselves a hand. So excited. Before I forget, Amanda, you need to take Rick's picture tonight for the website, okay? Don't let her forget. You need to be on the website. All right. Everybody turn off your cell phones, please. Don't give me the ring. Just do it. Do you have cell phones? Cell phones off. We're going to move right along. We got lots of fun stuff planned for tonight. Listen up. This is the quiet sign for those of you that don't know. If I do like this, I'm not trying to be Vulcan. I just mean shut up. Okay? Got it? All right. No eating during the meeting, so if you have snacks, please put them away until afterward. After, I don't care, but right now we don't want to hear crinkling wrappers. We want to hear me and my lovely big mouth that I'm about to share things with you. Okay. And we want to hear lots of other things, because I'm not the only one that has anything to say. We need to know who's had a birthday in the past week. Anybody? Alexis, stand up. Katie. Who else? Katie. Stand up. Okay, well, I guess it's just beautiful Alexis then, so sing at the top of your lungs. Happy birthday. I need to know who is here for the very first time today. We know you are. If you're here for the very first time, please come up front.
Come on.
Y'all, really? If you can't be quiet, we're going to be here a long time. Okay?
Hey, y'all better be quiet right now.
We want to meet our newbies, okay? So give them respect. We want to hear what their names are and where they go to school and what grade they're in, okay? You want to start with you?
I'm Madison.
Madison in 5th grade. Welcome.
Bye.
Next you have Josie. You're in 5th grade, and where do you go to school? Holy Trinity. Welcome, Josie. And we have this beautiful young lady here, whose name is Peyton. Okay, and where do you go to school?
8th grade.
8th grade. Welcome, Peyton. And Dylan. Where do you go to school? Sheridan Middle. Welcome, Dylan. I have a question. Are you single? No, he ain't. I just bought him. I'm not trying to embarrass you. And you are? What? Haley Nicely. Haley Nicely. Where do you go to school? Sheridan Middle. What grade? Okay. And I'm Caitlin. I go to Sheridan Middle School. Caitlin from Sheridan as well.
I'm Ty, and I'm a senior.
Ty is a senior. Where do you go to school, Ty?
I go to Watkins, but I used to go to Sheridan. I will stab you.
Are you single?
No, I'm not.
Not single.
He's mine.
And I'm speaking you on purpose. This young man back here is named
What?
Wyatt. And where do you go to school?
I'm actually.
Wyatt is homeschooled. He's awesome. Okay. Are you single?
No.
Okay, so not single. Right now. And last but not least, we have our guest of honor. Watch out, guys.
Hi, I'm Allie, and I'm on.
And he is? What's your name?
Hunter Nisley. I go to Sheridan High School and I'm a junior.
Hunter Nicely. Does that name sound familiar?
No, not at all.
This is who we've been raising money for Hope for Hunter, guys. We have $177 raised so far. Welcome to Hunter. Honorary bracelet. All right? You guys can all have a seat. Welcome to the newbies. Let me just say to the newbies, I'm not really this scary, okay? I'm nice, I promise. It comes off scary the first few times, but keep coming. Ask the rest of these guys. It's not really this scary. Now, I need to know who did last week's challenge.
I did.
Stand up if you did last week's challenge. There will not be prizes for that this week. Just because there are so many of us and I've got to get through things, okay? Next week, we'll get your prize next week, alright? Cool deal. I really do appreciate all you guys doing your challenges every week. Matter of fact, I'll share with you, last week's challenge was to choose one person in your life that you've had trouble relating to. This week you were supposed to try one love language each day to see which one works best on them. Did you guys do it every day? Yeah. Did you pay attention to the ones that I posted on Facebook? And did you do it on the right day? Good job. Good job. Did anybody find a better way to relate to that person by using the love languages? No? Okay, so for the useless challenge, is that what you're telling me? What's your comment?
Because our problem we solve by making not rude comments, but we show our not love, but love by being mean to each other.
As long as it's in good fun, and you
both know it's jokes.
as long as you realize that you're not hurting each other.
Yeah.
If it was hurtful, then we would need to have a talk about that. Okay, so I do want to let you guys know that last week we had 46, and we probably look like we got about double that tonight. We had 6 newbies and 22 people did the challenge last week. Tonight, we have 2 talent shares. First of all, we're going to have Katie Snyder come up and read a poem that she's written for us. Give her a round of applause. Break a leg. She's quiet though, y'all. Thank you.
This is a poem I put I was 12 and 13 when I found this one poem on the internet. So I decided to take bits and pieces of my favorite songs that's helped me and put them into a poem. It says, don't let them haters drag you down. Just remember what comes around goes around. Just ignore what they say and just live it up your way. This is the poem. Live, laugh, love, forgive and forget, because life is too short to live with regrets. Ignore the rumors that they spread. Don't let that trash get inside your head. It won't mean you're weak if you turn the other cheek. Sorry. You're not a dork nor a nerd. They come up to you and say what they've heard. Do it right by living your life. Do it right by living your life. And remember, live, laugh, love, forgive, and forget, because life is too short to live with regrets. Just turn your head and say I don't care about all that. It's all of it is fiction and none of it's facts. The he say, the she say, the he say, the she say, they say I've heard. That bull that you can't let get on your nerves. They're miserable and they just want you to be like them, because misery needs company. So live, laugh, love, forgive, and forget, because life is too short to live with regrets.
share. We have an oldie but goodie, a favorite. Miss Liz would like to sing.
Yeah!
Liz, you wait 1 second.
Right there. I love you.
She grew up on the side of the road where the church bells ring and strong love clothes. She grew up good, she grew up slow, like a American Mondays. Stay as a preacher, free as a day. Couldn't wait to get going, but wasn't quite ready. So innocent, girlfriend, sweet American Monday. There's a wild, wild whisper blowing in the wind, coming down my name like a long lost face. Oh, I miss those days as the years go by. Oh, nothing sweeter than summertime in American Monday. Caught in the race of this crazy life, trying to be everything can make you lose your mind. Like just wanna go back in time to American Monday. There's a wild, wild whisper blowing in the wind, calling down my name like a long lost friend. Oh, I miss those days as the years go. Oh, nothing sweeter than summertime in American Monday. Gone for so long now. I gotta give back to her somehow. To American Monday. There's a wild, wild whisper blowing in the wind, calling down my name like a long lost friend. Oh, I miss those days as the years go by. Oh, nothing sweeter than summertime in American Monday.
Look out, Hollywood! Here she comes. I think she needs to go audition for American Idol. What do you guys think?
Field trip!
Okay, I got a couple questions, please. I have some people here on my list I need to know if they're here because I still don't think everybody's signed in. Devin's not here. Lindsay Morris is not here. Chris, anything? Brittany, can you go get him? He's not here? Okay. Linda McMasters, Kevin Green. I know Rosie's here. Andrew Rice? No. Sean Nat? Sam Childers? Tequila? Is she here? No? Okay. Gracie Silvestri's not here. Okay. Damien's here, right? Okay. Kyler? Kyler's here. Yeah, you're here. Rachel Morris is not here. Okay. All right. Because we're doing something different tonight. Don't you guys like when I just shake it up a little bit? Yes. Love it. Okay, so talking about shaking it up a little bit, I want you to direct your attention to
Oh,
the
yeah, here we
screen
go.
and enjoy.
Is it me?
Mexicans, be careful, because we have rednecks too. We do, and they sound exactly like the white ones. You guys are all quiet now. You don't believe me? Watch this. White redneck.
I tell you what,
Mexican redneck.
Sabes qué, güey?
White redneck, ding, 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 ding. We put words and moves to that.
Bailamos con el tuca.
Same night. So be careful, man.
Did you guys like that?
One another one.
One another one. No, we don't have time.
Yeah, we do.
The reason I wanted to get started with some comedy is because tonight's lesson is about using humor as a defense. And I specifically chose that video because Gabriel was making fun of himself. Okay? He was making fun of Mexicans because he's Mexican. Alright? He wasn't making fun of other people, he was making fun of his own race. Okay? He also, if you've seen some of his other stuff, he makes fun of being fat because he's big. He's fluffy. Okay? He's fluffy. Right? So, that's what tonight's lesson is about, okay? I want to tell you a couple little quotes. Humor has great power to heal on an emotional level. You can't hold anger, you can't hold fear, you can't hold hurt while you're laughing. He who smiles rather than rages is always the stronger. Okay? So, bullies prey on people who lack confidence and self-esteem. People who, when they make fun of them, they put their head down and walk the other way. Okay? Tonight, I want you guys to learn that humor can be a successful defense against bullying. Alright? Now, we're going to learn how. Bullies receive joy from making people laugh. Unfortunately, they do it in the wrong way. They try to make people laugh by putting other people down. Okay? When you are able to laugh at yourself and join in the joke, you take yourself out of the victim mentality and you put yourself in the bystander category. Because not only, now, they're not making fun of you, you're laughing along with them. So you're no longer a victim. Okay? Now, there are some things that you can't laugh at. Okay? There are some things, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying laugh at everything. But I am saying in certain situations that it can be a very effective mechanism to combat bullying if you're willing to laugh at yourself. Why? Anybody want to share why they think why that might work? Yes.
I have a story that it might go with.
Okay.
Today in gym, these kids were making fun of me because I kept stepping on my hockey stick. Because we were playing floor hockey. And I started laughing at myself.
Right. Because it is funny when you're tripping over your own feet. Okay? You know, you have, this is what I'm looking for, you have self-esteem. Okay? She knew that she's not a klutz all the time. She was being a klutz today. Okay? If someone makes fun of your race or the fact that you're short or something like that, something that you need to be okay with. Because guess what, people? If you're black, you're going to be black your entire life. Okay? If you're short, like me, you're going to be short probably your entire life. Okay? There are a lot of things about you that you can't change. Okay? Those are the things that you need to learn to be comfortable with. And those are the things that you need to learn to laugh about. I'll share a little story with you. People have always made fun of me because I'm short. Ever since I was in school. I learned very quickly that instead of getting upset and saying, oh my gosh, they're bullying me. No, I just learned to tell, yeah, I'm short, and if you don't watch your mouth right now, I'm going to jump up and hit you in the knees. That's what I learned to say. Yes. Right, exactly. I learned a bunch of comebacks for being short. Ben would like to share with you what he was, what people made fun of him and what his response was. I thought that was pretty good, babe.
I don't know which one you're talking
about. I'll share it then. He's embarrassed. People made fun of him because he has big lips. Did anyone notice Ben has big lips?
Yes. He does.
Okay, people would make fun of him. Ben's a clown anyway. He got used to saying, well, that's because I'm half black. You got a problem with black people? Oh my gosh, I just made fun of his race, you know? And he would just sit back and laugh, okay? So his lips are something that is a part of him. He is not going to change it. He's fine with it, okay? Yes, Trace.
When at the back of the bus would make fun of my bad eye. They would call me the one-eyed pirate. So I said, well, you keep making fun of me, and I'll come back there and I'll do a peg leg dance on you.
I love that. Yeah, I can think of a lot of comebacks for that. You know, I look at it and say, "Arr," you know? Whatever it takes for you to be comfortable in your own skin. Okay? A lot of coming to rise above is learning that you have value. You have self-worth. And so does everyone else. But guess what? We're not all the same. We all have little things that people can pick at. We all have little things that people can be made fun of because, you know, this, that, or the other. All right? Now, if someone's calling you an out-and-out name and it hurts you, okay, I'm not saying that that is appropriate to laugh at that, okay? But if it's something that you can't change about yourself and you need to learn to be okay with it, then by all means, learn to make a joke out of it. First of all, not only does it show that you're self-confident, it shows that you can laugh at yourself. You have a sense of humor, okay? It is very, very hard to be mad at someone who makes you laugh, okay?
It is.
It really is. I can't be mad at Ben half the time because he makes me laugh, all right? It is also something that will catch a bully off guard. Okay? When a bully says something mean to you, they're not expecting you to come back with a quick-witted line. They're not expecting you to start laughing along with them. Okay? So either they're going to be, one, embarrassed that they even did it to begin with, or number two, they'll be like, you know what? They must really be a cool person if they can sit here and laugh along with me, you know? They might change their opinion of you. Okay? Based on your reaction. Don't act like a victim, and you won't be one.
Or they punch you.
Now, I do need to get on that. Physical altercations do not need humor. Okay? Anytime a bullying situation gets physical, that needs to be taken to someone in authority that can deal with that situation. Yes?
I got SpongeBob where, like, he's a bonus come up, and dude's, like, beating him up. He's just laughing. Like,
right. How many people can be mad at SpongeBob? I mean, you know, he's funny. He's annoying. SpongeBob has one of those personalities that even if you do try to pick on him, he makes fun of it. He laughs about it. He's a fun-loving kind of guy, okay? That's why he's a very successful cartoon. I had a friend when I was in 6th grade. Her name was Nikki. And she, 6th grade, I was probably a little bit smaller than I am right now. I haven't really grown since the 6th grade. But I was pretty much this size. And I was friends with Nikki, and she was about, I don't know, she was big. She was bigger than you, Waylon. She was really big. I mean, like, no, I'm talking like
it's okay.
really tall and wide. I mean, she was just...
Is that fat joke?
No. I just think that you're probably the tallest one here.
I'm the tallest.
You're the tallest?
So you're weakly.
Alright. Anyway, my friend Nikki was a lot bigger than me. I'll just say that, okay? And the reason why she was my best friend is because she had the best sense of humor about everything. She didn't feel the need to make fun of anyone else, but if someone made fun of her, she was laughing right along with them and making fun of herself because she was okay in the skin that she was in, you know? And I respected that about her. I loved the fact that she was okay with the person that she was, and I wanted to be friends with her. A lot of people actually ended up wanting to be friends with her too, because she had that kind of personality that she just joked about things, and if it hurt her, she never showed it. I don't know if it ever did because she never told it to me, and I would think that as her best friend that she would have told me. So, Ben and I were talking about this lesson earlier this week, and he said, well, you know, if it really does hurt someone, what do you do then? So say someone says something about you, and you laugh it off, and it really does hurt you inside. What's your opinion? What do you think should happen then? Rachel? Confront him about it. Okay, when? After the very first time?
Right there. Right in front of everybody.
But you already laughed it off.
Oh, then you just...
Pull them to the side, yeah.
And they do it again, then you just complain about it. Everybody.
Okay, let me give you a little tidbit of advice here. What I think the best thing to do is, first of all, if someone did say something to hurt you, you already laughed it off, and then you went home and thought, man, that really did hurt me. Okay? It could have been a one-time thing. All right? So give the person a break. All right? Give them a chance to respond in the fact that you didn't get mad. Okay? If they keep on doing it, okay, it's repeated, and you really don't feel like laughing about it anymore, I would not confront that person in front of everyone else, okay? Because we talked about the whole victim bystander thing. Bullies want to look cool in front of their friends. They want to make people laugh, okay? So the best way to be able to combat that is the next time they do it, laugh it off again, and then go and get one of your rise above friends or a very close friend who is not the principal or that person's mom or your mom, somebody that's not in authority, okay, but someone who's going to back you up. And go to that person and say, you know what, I know I laughed about it before, but what you said really hurt me. And I just want you to know that I don't want you to say it anymore, please. It's really hurtful. And give them the opportunity to say, oh man, my bad, sorry, I thought you were okay with it, okay? The reason I ask you not to take somebody who they could get in trouble with, like their parent or a teacher or something like that, is because if a bully is doing something that really does hurt you and they don't mean to hurt you or they are willing to stop, they don't want to get in trouble for it. Okay? What you're doing is you're showing them the respect that you believe they're a human being and that they are going to change when you ask them nicely to do so. Then, if it still is a problem after that, that's when you should be able to pull other people in that could make them stop. Okay? Because we do learn here that we don't control other people's behavior. We control our own. So that's why I'm giving you guys the ideas of things to do. Yes, who had a comment over here?
Oh, I forget.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions or comments on that?
But what is it?
Like this kid, he keeps calling me a bad hockey player. So I say I may be bad at hockey, but at least I don't trip.
Okay, time out there. That's my next point, okay? When you are laughing and making fun of yourself, it's very, very, very important that you do not turn around and make it a joke about them, okay? Because that can make it worse. If you, right, because Ben told me another instance that I won't share, but something that he had said, someone was making fun of him or something, and he turned it around on them, okay? You cannot do that because, number one, it makes the situation worse. It makes them mad, okay? It makes them look bad. And number two, it puts you into the bullying category, okay? It turns around and makes you the bad guy. You don't want that, okay? So you guys get that? When you're laughing and you're making fun of, make fun of yourself, but leave the bully out of it or whoever else is in that situation. Leave all of them out of it, okay? It's all right to laugh at yourself, but when you start making fun of other people, that's when there's an issue. Because then you're no better than they are. You're doing the same thing that they did to you. And it can be very hurtful. Yes, Katie?
This is like about like when you do laugh it up and like you keep going on about yourself and you're actually acting like yourself. People take that and they turn it around into a bad thing about you. Like if you're like actually happy, they turn it around and like try to ruin your day by like
because they say you're too happy, or
yeah, they make fun of you because you're actually confident and you have high self-esteem and stuff.
Okay. So if you really do have that high self-esteem, if you really do have that high self-esteem, does it bother you?
Does it bother me or does it bother them?
Does it bother you when they make fun of you for being too happy? Okay.
But they do it to other people when it makes me really mad.
They do it to other people. That's the next point. What are some of the things that you could do if you were watching someone else be bullied? How could you use humor in a situation to diffuse that?
Just go up to them and start laughing and make jokes and stuff and just kind of like make them stop bullying the other person.
How so? Give me a little more detail. Yes?
Kind of make it joke about yourself. Get the topic off that person.
Right. Or especially, yes.
If you're the third party, make the same joke about yourself, make them feel better.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Exactly. if you could be bullied for that very same reason that they're being bullied for, like he said, come up and say, you know what, I do that all the time. I'm even worse, If you were talking about being klutzy or whatever, tripping over your stick, I could come up and say, oh my gosh, you guys, guess what I even do, And I could tell some story that's so off the wall about how clumsy I am. And then everyone is laughing at me and not at her. Okay? So that is a very successful way to use humor in that situation, to be able to help yourself and to be able to help your friends. Okay? We as rise abovers do need to stick together. I know we don't all go to the same school, but even if you have friends that aren't rise abovers, they can help you with this. You need to have somebody that's willing to have your back. Now, why else do they need to have your back?
Power in numbers.
Power in numbers, exactly. How about,
I would probably do that, though.
because the person who has, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Waylon.
Like, the thing with power in numbers, though, is, like, the people can, like, turn around against them and, like, just be, you don't know if they're buddy with, like a principal or something, or if they're a jock or something like that, and, like, turn the situation against them, like, they're all there to jump me or something like that, and try to, like, gang up on me.
Exactly, which is why humor works a lot better than just a bunch of us coming up saying, don't you do that, we're going to stand together, That's not right, that's not going to work too well. But if you and 4 of your friends are standing there, and you're all laughing it up and joking about it, and making it seem like you're cool with the fact that whatever they said about you, you've got friends there that are willing to take the heat off of you. And then if it continues, like I said, you can take those same friends and you can go to that person and say, look, this really does hurt me. Just want to let you know. Yes, Katie?
This is like kind of, it has to do with something, it's not about me, but it's about like a friend that I have. It's like, people make fun of her sexuality.
Okay.
And like she wants to know like how to deal with like when her exes like make fun of her because of their sexuality, and they're the same way, but around certain people, she like doesn't know how to deal with that.
Okay, I guess I'm kind of...
Like the bullies doing the same thing that she's doing, but they're picking up her for doing that. Like,
okay. Yes, then I would definitely say that she needs to watch making fun of that specific issue. Does that make sense? Because if the bully is doing the same thing, and then she's willing to make fun of herself, she's in essence making fun of the bully for the same thing. Do you see what I mean?
But how would she like deal with it though? Like how would she like...
I would take step 2, because it sounds to me like this is something that's happened before, right? I would take step 2, take a few of my friends, or someone that this person respects, someone in some kind of, and come with them and say, look, we go round and round about this. This is something that really hurts me. I just wanted to come to you privately and say that it hurts me and ask you to stop, okay? I have enough respect for you as a person to give you the opportunity to stop, okay? I mean, yeah, that's a tough situation, exactly. Anybody else? Yes.
On that thing where you want to go up to them and talk to them like, privately, the people that get bully people in my school, they're always like, "What are you coming up to talk to me?" And then, like, when you come up to talk to them or something, they just, like, make fun of you because you're trying to come up there and talk to them.
Do you go with friends? Yeah. How many friends? Like 3? Okay.
That I really interested.
How many friends do they have?
Okay, how many friends do they have? Exactly. 1. Okay, so instead of doing that, because they're feeling ganged up on, all right? Instead of doing that, come to them with 1 friend. If they have 1 friend, you bring 1 friend, okay? That way the numbers are even. And you're saying, look, I have respect for you. I want you to know that I would like to talk about this. Can we talk about it? Ask them. Use it. Can I quiet? You need to ask them. If you're not sure whether or not they're going to respond to you, ask them. Say, hey, I really want to talk to you for a second about this. Do you have a minute? Can we talk for just a second? I mean, usually if you ask like that, people are not going to tell you just, hey, no, I don't got a minute for you. But if they do, then you know that they're not going to be responsive to what you have to say, okay? And then you're not going to waste your time anyway, All right, because there are some people that don't respond to kindness. There are some people that Rise Above does not work with. There's people like that in the world. I'm sorry to tell you. Does that mean you need to stop doing it? No. You still need to try, because those are the people that need it the most. Yes.
Which one?
You.
Oh, okay. I was watching this movie. Yes, on Disney Channel. I don't care. But
Disney's awesome.
this girl, it's called Radio Rebel. Yeah, she like in the end, she gives her bully the crown and the like prom thing, and she that, and she stops like being like a brat to her, so she showed her kindness.
Right.
I love she would say, I have children, like.
Okay, wait a minute. I got one more. I did not hear you. Go ahead.
You can't laugh at jokes by yourself while laughing at other people's jokes.
Absolutely. Yes, Ben.
Bam!
Back when we were a little further, sometimes if you can't go up to somebody and say something, because I wouldn't always be comfortable with that, you know, write a note or a text message and then, you know, make sure you're polite, but they can read it on their own. And maybe you can convey how you feel over Facebook or a text message.
Yeah. It needs to be face to face. Hold on, wait a minute.
If you
Let me say this. If you text somebody and say, "Hey, can I talk to you?" Okay. Number one, are they going to talk to you? They're going to fight with you on a text. They're going to fight with you on Facebook. Yes. You can call them. Yes, you can call them on the phone. FaceTime. Okay. What else?
I have a story. There's this girl named Heaven. She picks on me, but her friend is my best friend, and I don't know what to do.
Okay.
Because I want to take Holly with me, but Holly's her friend too, and I'm afraid that it's going to start stuff between Heaven and Holly and stuff like that.
Okay, so my advice in that situation would be for you three to all sit down together and you tell that you would like for you all to be friends. It bothers you that she doesn't like you. You want you all to be friends. And if your friend that is friends with both of you, whatever her name is, Holly, okay, if she's there, she's going to act as a buffer between you guys. Okay? And she's... No, it will work. You just have to make time to sit down with somebody. How many times, you guys, really? The bullying thing happens 9 times out of 10 over text and Facebook. It really does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay? So if you are willing to sit down face to face with someone, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be able to work out that problem, whatever it is. Now, I'm not saying it'll be the permanent end of that problem. You may have continued problems later, but at least you've confronted it head on. Refuse to be pulled into cyber drama. Okay? Delete the drama. You don't need it. Face-to-face works the best. Yes, Rosie?
You mentioned something on the not calling people out. What we talked about Friday, calling people out when we tell stories.
Yeah. When we tell stories, guys, in here, please be aware that the camera's running. So if you're going to talk about a situation, please leave names out. Okay? We don't want to be calling people out and then these people watching on the video and getting upset that they were called out. Okay? Thank you, Rosie.
That thing that you said about calling out the names, that won't be a problem because it happened so long ago, I don't even remember their names.
Amen.
All right.
We
not married.
Yes. Hold on, guys.
I've kind of noticed people that say stuff about people on Facebook and don't say anything in real time, they're actually more cowardice. They can't say a problem with you, can't say it to you in person. Really, they have no effect over you.
That's exactly right. They have no effect on you unless you let them. Okay? Yes, Waylon.
The bad thing about like the cyber stuff and everything is that they can take that text and like talk to you about it and send it to your friends, their friends, forward it.
Right.
Their friends will attack you about it, and then it just causes more drama.
Exactly. Let me make a statement here that you guys need to remember. Anytime you write words out and you press the send key or the send button on your computer or whatever, those words are no longer yours alone. Okay? Those words can be used against you. They can be forwarded to the entire school. They can be forwarded to anybody in the future. Same with photos. Okay? I know you guys take some photos that maybe aren't really what you need to be putting on Facebook or sending it a text or whatever. If you do that kind of stuff, you guys, that's going to come back to haunt you. Okay? When you go to try to get a job 10 years down the road, don't think that your employer is not going to check out your Facebook profile and see all those pictures of you, partying up with your friends. Right, okay? It's important. The things that you're doing right now you think are harmless, but everything that you upload or every text that you send is no longer yours anymore. It belongs to the public, okay?
I was babysitting with my aunt, and someone was being very disrespectful to her, and she just kind of went off on him, and I didn't think that was very rise above her, but I wasn't going to say anything to her because,
Well, and yeah, you're right. We are not the rise above police. Okay?
I could be.
We are not. We go about that. That's why we stopped snapping our bracelets at each other. Okay? Because we're not the police. You're in charge of your own behavior. And that's why I'm trying to teach you guys here tonight, is how you can use humor in your own life. Not how you can tell somebody else to act. Okay? How can you change your life for the better? Alright? Now, one thing that I use to try to determine whether or not I should be laughing about something, because sometimes it's kind of on the fence, and if you determine, wait a minute, is this really going to matter in 5 years? If the answer is no, you can probably just laugh about it. Okay? Alright? It's really not going to matter whether someone called me short in 5 years. Okay? I am short, but that's okay. So do you guys get that? Just, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? You have to learn to laugh at yourself. You're never going to get out of this life alive, okay? Life is funny. There are a lot of times when it requires humor to get through, okay? And it feels better to laugh than to be upset and angry, okay? If someone says something to you and you're just boiling about it, or if someone says something to you and you're just like, whatever, oh my gosh, and you just make a joke about it, it's going to be so much easier to deal with it if you're laughing rather than boiling. Okay? Questions on that?
It's not a question, it's a
Comment?
Whenever a family death in my family happens, we immediately think of all the things that made us laugh about that person. Like my grandpa and I, he had lung cancer when I was young and died from it. But one day, we went fishing. We stayed at Deer Creek all night. And I remember we fished from 6 o'clock in the p.m. to 6 o'clock a.m. I fell asleep, and I woke up, this guy's still reeling out and catching. He had a bucket, 5-gallon bucket easily, full of fish that he caught that night.
Exactly. Let me tell you. For those of you that don't know, my baby girl Lauren was killed in a car accident over the past summer. Okay? And there are a lot of days that I'm sad. Alright? There are not usually days that I'm mad, because I don't want to feel that way. But the things that are the best are when I can remember things about her that make me laugh. Okay? And when I downloaded a ringtone that she had on her phone, and oh my gosh, it's the funniest ringtone ever. And I remember when she played it for me the first time, I was like, oh my god, that's hilarious. And I just laughed and laughed and laughed. And now I have it on my phone, and every time it starts, I laugh, and I think of her.
What song is it?
It's actually not a song. It's when you get a message, it goes, message, 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 So it's funny. I mean, I just crack up every time I hear it. Sorry if I burst your eardrums. All right. Yes, ma'am.
This is about my friend. I'm not going to call names since she said so. She had a Facebook, and her bully added her, started picking on her on Facebook. I was at her house. I was like, give me this computer. I said, you know what? This is Jaylene. I said, if you're going to just pick on her, then why'd you add her?
Why did she accept the friend request?
I was about to say.
Because she likes him as a friend, and she just wants to be friends with him.
Oh.
So she thought it would change, but no.
Okay, well, just as easily as you add someone as a friend, you can delete them. There's a delete, there's a block. You can do all that stuff. It's wonderful. Quiet, please. I have one last point that I want to make. Make sure that if you agree, and I say that in quotes because sometimes you're going to laugh about something that you don't really agree with that someone has said about you, but you're going to laugh just because you want to get out of the situation. Make fun, go on, okay? Just because you agree with a bully's statement about you does not mean that you need to go home and actually think that about yourself, okay? If someone calls you ugly and you say, heck yeah, man, I'm so ugly that the cockroaches run when they see me coming in. Whatever, I'm not going to make it. Okay, but if you say that and then you laugh, but then you go home and it hurts you, and you obsess about it, and you think, oh my gosh, that person called me ugly. Am I really ugly? I must really be ugly for them to say that. Okay? First of all, you're destroying yourself because not only did the bully try to say something that's going to bring you down, but now you're using it to bully yourself. You're trying to bring your own self down. You don't need that. Okay? Make sure that if you gotta leave. My baby girl's got gymnastics. Thanks.
Do these splits. Yeah, do it.
Okay. So just because you happen to agree with a statement that's made about you for humor's sake, okay, and for getting out of that situation does not mean you need to go home and think that really about yourself, okay? Now, how do you, Lauren had a lot of problems with this. She would go home and just worry all night long because somebody said she was fat, you know, or ugly, or, you know, whatever. People made fun of her all the time because she liked to tan. She had real tan skin, and so-and-so called me a Mexican today, and, you know, they said I was orange, and I'm like, well, I told her, Lauren, you are orange, honey. I'm sorry. Tell them you're Native American, okay? Okay, so anyways, she had a problem with, although she may have laughed about it at school, she came home and was upset about it. Okay? And that went on day after day after day after day. Instead of her saying, you know what, I'm not really that way, and I am not going to believe what other people say about me. Okay? Instead, she went back and thought about it and obsessed about it and got upset about it and lost her self-esteem. Okay? I don't want you guys to do that. If someone says something about you and you laugh it off, but then you come home and it really does bother you, you need to do some things, okay? First of all, you need to surround yourself with positive people who do not believe that way about you, okay? Talk to someone who you know thinks you're a beautiful person, okay? Talk to someone who is going to pull those thoughts out of your head and replace them with positive ones, okay? Not only are you responsible for surrounding yourself with some other people that are going to do that, but you need to make sure that you're writing out or saying good things about yourself, okay? Combat those bad thoughts in your mind with good thoughts about yourself. Right? I know they're in there someplace. And then, thirdly, last but not least, if it still bothers you, then that would be a statement that you need to go and talk to that person about. Okay? If they happen to say it again, you do want to go to them and say, you know what, the last time you said that I laughed about it, but it really does hurt. Okay? Lots of times. Ben is a joker. He jokes all the time. Alright? All the time. Matter of fact, he jokes so much, Kyla never knows when to take him seriously. Never. She asks me if she wants to know the truth. She'll ask him something and he'll tell her some big made-up story and she'll come to me, Mommy, is that really true? No, honey, Daddy lies all the time. Just kidding. That's just the way he is. But anyway, what happens is, he jokes so much, and he used to do it with Lauren. He would joke so much with her that it hurt her. And he didn't realize that he was hurting her. And then when he found out, he made an effort to stop. Because he didn't really want to hurt her. He was just trying to have fun. Sometimes the person who you consider a bully isn't really a bully. They're just somebody that doesn't really pay attention to what their actions do to you. Okay? And sometimes they just need a heads up. All right? That's why I'm saying that it's important that you go and talk to them about that. Because if you talk to them in the right frame of mind, and they are one of those people who really didn't mean to hurt you, they are going to do their best to change. Okay? You need to give them that opportunity. Questions on any of that? Yes?
Yeah, I was saying, when you criticizing somebody, it's very important that you start off with a compliment and end with a compliment, with the criticism in between.
Right. Right. And we are learning that at our house, aren't we? Then, it's very important. People need 6 good things for every 1 bad that you say to them. Okay? So if you're constantly ragging on somebody about something that you don't like about them, and that's all you ever have to say about them, they're going to really start to feel bad about themselves if you don't throw some compliments and some positivity in there to combat that. Okay? Anything else? Okay. What we want to do now, something a little bit different, we are going to have small groups tonight. Now, I've been talking about doing this for a while. I didn't have any idea that we were going to have so many people here tonight, but I've tried to put everyone into a group. Okay? We're going to have 6 groups, and we'll start off tonight. We are going to go with your group leader. I'm going to have 3 of my groups go into the house, and 3 of my groups stay here, so it won't be so noisy when we talk. Okay? But your group leaders will have discussion questions where if you want to tell your stories and things like that and talk about what works and what doesn't work for you, that is the time to do that. Okay? And then we will all meet back here in about 15, 20 minutes. Okay? Listen up so you can hear what group you're in. Okay? Miss Angie, will you come up, please? Oh, okay. That's fine. Just stay right there. Dad, I'll have you come up then. I like your shirt. For those of you that don't know, this is Bruce. He's my dad. So those of you that will be in his group tonight will be heading into the house, okay? Please, 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 so that I don't get my head chopped off later. When you go into my house, take off your shoes, okay? Ben's picky about the carpet, okay? Okay. Really. For those of you... I really need you guys to be quiet. I know it's... I really like to dismiss at 8, okay? So we need to make sure that I get everything out that needs to be gotten out, okay? If you are going on Monday's field trip, okay, I have got to have your permission slip tonight, okay? Unless your parents are personally driving you themselves, okay, I've got to have your permission slip tonight. Even so, if they do plan to drive you themselves, I still need to know because they need to know at the blind school how many kids are coming because they're feeding us lunch and they have to order their food. So I told them about 20, but I don't know until you guys let me know for sure, okay? Please don't tell me you're going to come if you're really not going to, and please don't tell me you're not going to come and then just show up because I'm going to say too bad and go home, all right? For those of you, yes? What day is that? This is coming up Monday. For those of you who need a ride, okay, listen up. If you guys need a ride, you have to meet here at my house. It takes about an hour to get there, so we'll be leaving my house at 9 o'clock. I'll be there. 7:30. Not at 7:30. Good, I would plan on waking up at 9 o'clock. Now listen, I have to make sure that I have enough drivers here. So I need you guys to let me know for sure if you're coming and you need someone to drive you so that I can put you in a car with somebody who I know is going. Okay? Are you over 18?
Yeah.
Okay, then you need to sign a driver permission slip. Okay? Let me give you one of those. You can drive? Okay. Okay? So typically, I want the groups to be smaller. I am advertising for more group leaders. And as we get more group leaders, we will break into smaller groups. Okay? When it gets to be warm outside, instead of going into the house, we're going to go outside. And we're just going to each take a space. We're going to do games and things like that. What we need to do when we decide for sure that you're coming every week and this is the group you're going to be in, because I'm kind of finagling people around right now. When we decide these are for sure the groups we're going to have, then we'll be coming up with team names and stuff, okay? So be thinking about something cool you want to call your group, okay? Do you have money? Do you guys have money for Hunter at all? The people that just keep It's really, I need to get through this, okay? Alright. Next week's challenge. Who wants to know the challenge? Are you guys all listen up, okay? You definitely want to come next week, because next week we've got, first, besides wanting to hear about how our field trip went, next week you're all going to get the tattoo so you can wear it on Lauren's birthday, which is Thursday. Okay, so we'll be having something special to celebrate Lauren's birthday. So, here's your challenge for the week. Listen up. Oh yeah, by the way, we forgot to tell the newbies this. These bracelets here that say Rise Above on them, come 5 times, do 5 challenges, you get a bracelet. Okay, some of you guys are 1 or 2 challenges away. That's why the sign-in list is so important, because that's how I mark it down on the book. Where did my sign-in list go? Did you sign Hunter in? Hunter, I need you to sign in. And then I believe there are other people over here too. Just takes so long when you guys. Okay, so the challenge. Laughter is the best medicine, right?
Yes.
Okay, we learned that this week. This week's challenge is to brighten someone's day by making them laugh. Find someone who is down, upset, or just having a bad day and change their outlook by using humor. Okay? I don't mean go and tell them they look silly and make them laugh. I meant totally change their mood with humor. Okay? Make it your personal mission to make as many people smile as you can this week by being funny. Okay? Now, challenge part 2. This isn't. Sorry, I mixed it. There's a second part of the challenge. Some of you guys may have talked about this in your groups tonight. Okay? Practice a few comebacks, so that when somebody makes fun of you for something, you've got something quick-witted that you can say that's funny that makes fun of yourself, okay? So stop and think about, if someone calls me short today, what am I going to say, okay? And get it in your mind and think of a good comeback. So I want to hear some of these next week, okay? All right. You guys got that? Yep. All right. Now, shh. Listen up. We have, I wanted to report to you, we had a speaking engagement for Rise Above this past week. Rosie and I went to Middy's Career Center, and we pitched our program to them and helped them to kick off what they're actually going to do in their school about bullying. So I do want to thank you guys for thinking about me and praying for me and whatnot when I was gone. I was really nervous, but I was really glad to be able to take our story and share with them. So thank you.
We got your back.
Also, March 6th, I'll be going again to Boeing and speaking to their diversity council and telling them about Rise Above. So we have lots and lots and lots of things going on. All right? For those of you that can't remember everything that I'm saying, get on the website, riseabovelkw.com, okay? Now, they signed in? Yep. I need Peyton to sign in. Your mom is with information too, okay? All right. Do you guys have any questions or
Mind if I turn my feet?
Tomorrow after school? Okay. But if you don't, I'm going to tell you no. Okay? It's got to be literally at half past today.